We're going to keep going with our JSON Web Token stuff. We left off the query wasn't working last time, and there's a couple reasons why. First, it needs to be called getUserById. That's what we called it on the front end. Names have to match. It was just getUser, so you got to change it in our user schema and in our user resolver. Just add the by ID, and then our user landing component. When we destructure loading and getUserById, we need to put data and put those in an object because it's actually this.props.data .loading and .getUserById. So we need that data there. Still say if it's loading, return null. And we're going to say const username, image URL, and JWT equals getUserById. Those are the three properties we're getting back right now. And we're going to say if username auth.authenticate. And I'm going to show you what that is in a second. I've imported auth from /utils, but I'll get to that in 1 second. And then after we've determined it's not loading, we are going to store using local storage. I put window in front of it because my editor gives me errors. You can just use local storage. It knows what you're talking about, but I get an error. It doesn't like it, so I just put the window in front of it. Anyhow, we're going to set token equal to the JWT, and I'm going to set the avatar equal to the image URL. And then inside of here, I just put an H1 with, hey username, welcome to the YouTube clone. And inside of our src directory, I made a new folder called utils and put index.js inside of there. First, I brought in React, and I brought in redirect and route from React Router down. Then I got this private route and auth. These are basically right off of the React Router. So the private route is directly off of it, and the auth is this fake auth, basically. Except I removed any callbacks and junk like that. So auth starts out is authenticated is false, and it's got an authenticate method that sets is authenticated to true, and a logout that sets is authenticated to false. And we export that, and we export the private route. Basically does a bunch of mumbo jumbo. It's a route, but in order to view that route, the user must be authenticated via this auth object. If they're not, they're going to get redirected to home. So how does that work? Try to get to upload, and you just get brought right back to home. You can see upload flash real quick, but it's redirecting back to home. Right now, I should also show you that in here, I'm bringing in the private route from utils, and I turned our upload. I just, instead of route, wrap it in private route. And up here, I say const avatar URL. That's misspelled, but anyway, avatar URL. And down here, I put the src of our avatar to the avatar URL. Avatar URL is going to be window.localStorage.getItem avatar. This is the sign for OR. So if this is a falsy value, it's going to replace it with the placeholder. So that's working okay right now. So when we log in, actually, let me clear the local storage. So under normal conditions, it's not there. And then we sign in with Google. and it still doesn't show up. But our query went through. Obviously it's in local storage now. And we know that because we can get into upload. Now, later on, we're going to figure out a way to get it to display automatically. But I think it needs, see, like there, it needs to re-render. It needs to re-render this app bar in order to update, so that, because we're calling the local storage in the render method. And if it doesn't re-render the app bar component, it's never going to know to update that. So right now that's not bad, but we can do better than that. We can make it, we can set it to there when we load the page, but it's a small detail. We don't need to get into it right now. For now, we're sticking with the JSON Web Token. So the next thing we want to do is we need a way for the front end to send the proof of that JSON Web Token to the back end when it makes a request. Specifically, we're going to do it when it makes any request, but we specifically care about this because we don't want just anybody uploading videos. We want to make sure that they're an authenticated user before they can upload videos. We can do it, make them a user before they view videos. Basically, we can force them to be a user before they interact with our application in any way with this JSON Web Token. Now, the private route, there's a lot of that, but we really want to also be able to we all want to know who it is specifically. We have no way to know who specifically is calling us from the front end unless we use this JSON Web Token. So, in order to do that, we're going to use some middleware. We're going to go we're going to go to Apollo's site and check out the middleware. And these documentation is pretty decent for Apollo. They definitely have quite a few languages and stuff like that, and they've got a lot of stuff for React, so at least the basics. And we're going to have to figure out how to do it. Maybe it's in authentication. Let's see. Cookie, nope, not using cookies. Headers, yes. Here we go. All right. This looks good. So we're going to need set context from Apollo link context. So why don't we install Apollo link context right now? Npm install save. Oh, almost got me again. cd into the client directory first. And we'll run npm install save Apollo link context. And we're going to be working in our index.js for the front end, where we configured all of the stuff for Apollo before. We don't really have much more time in the video, but we are going to be using this code right here, I believe. And we'll do all that stuff in the next video.